What up, fight fans? Today I'm gonna make my predictions for UFC Fight Night 2 or 3, Santos against Ankalaev. Let's just jump right into it. First fight of the night, we have Tafon Nchukwi against Azamat Murzakanov. Nchukwi is someone who has big power, not the most technical, pretty low output. Azamat Murzakanov is someone who's coming off the Contender Series where he looked really good. It's his first fight in the UFC. I would say overall he has a better jab. He's a better grappler and he's got much better kicks and movements. So I'm gonna go with Azamat Murzakanov, unless Tafon and Chukwi is able to land a bomb and just um, put his lights out. So for this one, I think he'll be able to work out a little bit of just be well rounded, work out some of his wrestling, grappling, maybe do some cage work, some jabs, some kicks, and just overall better movement. So I'm gonna choose Murzakanov by decision. Let's move on to the next one. This one is an exciting one for a lot of people. Chris Moutinho is coming off this fight against Sugar Sean, where he showed a lot of heart, and a lot of people are, tend to like him because of that reason. He has at least in that fight, he had very poor head movement, but he just kept on walking forward and he did not mind eating those shots and just he's willing to take a few to land some as well. So I think in this fight, the cardio, the pressure, and the heart is going to be assets that are going to be working towards Chris Moutinho's favor. Guido Canetti is, I think he's 42 years old. He's, as we saw in his last fight, he's got some solid calf kicks that can do quite a bit of damage. But due to his age as well, his cardio is a little bit questionable. So I think Chris Moutinho in this fight will be able to push the pace, put on display some of his amazing cardio that he had against Sugar Sean O'Malley, and then be able to showcase his skills against a fading fighter in Guido Canetti. So for this one, I'm going with Moutinho. I think he can get the finish in as a late third round TKO, I would say. Let's move on to the next one. Cody Brandage against Dalcha Lungiambula. Man, I hope I'm saying that right. Sounds like I butchered that guy's name. I feel bad for that. So let's see. Let's look at my notes here. For this one, Dalcha, I'm just going to say Dalcha. He has huge power. His cardio is a little bit questionable. He's going against a wrestler here, so it's a little bit of a sketch fight for him. He throws major bombs, but not with a lot of technique. As I mentioned, Cody Brandage is someone who's he's a wrestler, so he probably has pretty decent cardio. He might be looking to push the pace. This one is a little bit of a coin flip, in my opinion. I'm gonna lean towards Cody Brandage unless he gets clipped majorly early round one. I think he's able to push the pace and then work out a decision. Next, Sabina Mazo against Miranda Maverick. So for this one here, Sabina Mazo is coming off. Let's check it out here. I think she just got choked out, by Maria Agapova, who just lost over the weekend. So both these women here, Sabina Mazo is coming off a 2-fight losing streak. Same with Miranda Maverick. She's also coming off a 2-fight losing streak. I think here this is going to be a matter of grappling. I think Miranda Maverick has the better grappling. Sabina Mazo has tremendous Muay Thai / kickboxing, I would say. But I think this is a matter of Miranda Maverick just being a little bit more well-rounded all around and being able to fight the kind of fight she wants to fight, unless she's coming in with a poor game plan. But this is her fight to win, and she should be able to dictate where the fight takes place. So for this one, I think Miranda Maverick also picks up a decision. Next, we have Damon Jackson against Camuela Kirk. So this is an interesting one. Let's also jump into it here and look at it. Damon Jackson is a BJJ black belt. His counterpart, Kamala Kirk, is also a BJJ black belt, I believe. So let's see here. So Damon Jackson was able to pick up a solid little decision over Charles Rosa, which Charles Rosa is a UFC veteran. He's been around forever. The loss before that was to Iliato Puria, who's a solid contender, who's a young prospect up and coming, undefeated. So there's nothing wrong with that. He also beat Mirsad Bektic by guillotine. So this is where it shows you that the guy he took it into the late third round as well. So he has very solid cardio, and he's got solid grappling / jiu-jitsu. The only issue in this fight is his striking is leaving a little bit to be desired for. I think Kamala Kirk has much better striking overall, a little bit more of a counter striking approach to his style, a little bit Conor McGregor-ish in a way, where he just kind of bounces on his feet and likes to throw some counters. He beat Marwan Amirkhani by unanimous decision. So this shows you that this guy has solid cardio in order to, withstand the output, the grappling output of Marwan Amirkhani. You have to have either solid grappling or solid cardio, or both, or solid takedown defense. So I think for this one, Kamala Kirk will be able to take this one. I would say late third round TKO. Moving on up, we have Trevin Jones against Javid Basharat. So this is one that I think a lot of fans are going to be excited for. Javid Basharat is coming off a nice win on the Contender Series. I don't remember if it was let's check it out. I think it was a unanimous decision. But he looked very well rounded, and then he was pretty brash in his approach of the win, where he went up to Dana White and told him what he thought about his victory and that he truly deserved the contract. So he actually got a late third round finish by guillotine choke. So his counterpart, Trevin Jones. So Trevin Jones has super powerful kicks. He's got solid KO power and very, very good BJJ. I think this is a fight where Javid Basharat, who's coming in undefeated at 11-0, I think is going to be more well-rounded all around, and is going to be able to dictate where the fight takes place as well. I think he's got slightly better striking, better grappling, I would say. I think he tries to keep this fight on the feet though, and picks up a decision. So I'm going to say Basharat by decision. Next, this is one that's interesting to me due to the odds. The odds opened up at plus 160 for JJ Aldridge. And looking at the odds now, where is JJ Aldridge? She's all the way down to plus 110. So there's been quite a bit of money coming into JJ Aldridge for this fight, which I can see why. I think Aldridge's got much better striking. She's got solid jabs, solid combos, 1-2s up the middle. And she's got some nice little leg kicks that can keep the opponent at bay. Now, Gillian Robertson, we all know that she's going to come in and she's going to want to grapple. Her striking is not very much there. Although she's gotten a little bit better throughout the years, but I think that JJ Aldridge is the much superior striker, and I think she'll be able to wither the takedowns and wither the early storm of output, and just work on her volume, her boxing volume, and throw some kicks in the way, some leg kicks, some 1-2s up the middle, and I think we'll pick up a decision for JJ Aldridge. And plus 110, I think, is a solid little underdog pick for the night. Next fight, we have Matt Simmelsberger against AJ Fletcher. AJ Fletcher is coming off a big flying knee KO on the Contender Series. But I think that at this stage of their careers, unless, there's some things that AJ Fletcher is going to come out with that we haven't seen yet, I think Matt is a better wrestler and he's got better striking. So it's a little bit of unknown on this one. but I'm gonna go on Matt Semmelsberger by decision. Next, we got Bruno Silva against Alex Pereira. This is a very, very interesting fight. I want to look at the odds on this one, actually. Bruno Silva. So Alex Pereira was at minus 160 a couple days ago. He moved all the way down to minus 185. Obviously, I think it's to be expected due to the fact that there's a lot of hype behind this guy because he knocked out Israel Adesanya in a kickboxing promotion. Bruno Silva is someone who's very, very dangerous. He's coming off some wins over some solid contenders at middleweight. He beat Wellington Turman, who's a young prospect, Andrew Sanchez, who's always very tough and has got amazing cardio, and Jordan Wright by KO. And he's in the process, he was able to pick up all finishes. So this guy is a very, very dangerous fighter. Amazing striking. Now, does he have better striking than Alex Pereira? I really don't think so. So this is going to be an interesting fight. This is a fight where we have to see if Bruno Silva can work a little bit of his grappling and try to mix it up. Maybe get Alex Pereira a little bit tired. But the key to victory for Bruno Silva in this fight has to be the wrestling and has to be grappling. I don't think anyone can stand with Pereira. Pereira has solid kicks, damaging kicks, and he's got a killer left hook that will just put your lights out clean. So for this one, I think Alex Pereira is able to keep it on the feet and get the finish. It could be a firefight, bar burner. I'm gonna say Alex Pereira by second round TKO. Next, also a very, very interesting fight. We got Drew Dober against Terence Mckinney. Terence Mckinney just picked up a first round submission against Ziam, Ferhas Ziam, which looked pretty dominant. The choke didn't look, the most beautiful, but he got the finish. Drew Dober is always he's a UFC vet. He's been around forever. He's got amazing Muay Thai, solid kicks, good boxing, very good takedown defense, solid grappling. He uses his defensive grappling and defensive takedown to be able to keep it on the feet, which is where he really wants the fights to take place. Terence McKinney, this is an interesting fight because he's been on a little bit of a tear as of late. He's on a 5-fight winning streak, and he's been winning every single one of his fights in the first round. He won this one within 16 seconds, 17 seconds, a minute 12, 7 seconds, which was a UFC record for the lightweight division, and then 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So he keeps saying that he thinks he's going to be a champion by 2023, that he's truly starting to believe in his skills, but we haven't seen much of his skills past the first round. He's able to get quick finishes. So if he doesn't get a quick finish against Drew Dober is a guy who can truly take it 3 rounds and who can punish you with his striking. So this one it's a tough pick for me. Let's check it out here. Terence McKinney at plus 140, and Terence McKinney is also coming in on short notice. He just picked up the submission. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. So he's fresh. He's he came off that fight clean, no damage really. I'm gonna go with the underdog on this one. He seems to have a lot of belief in himself. He's young. He's hungry. Drew Dober's been around for a while. I think it's gonna be a little bit sketchy if Drew Dober is able to defend the takedowns and then carry it on to the later rounds. But let's go with McKinney, first round KO, since he seems to be pretty confident in that. Next, we have Khalil Rountree and Karl Robertson. Both kickboxers. I think Khalil Rountree is the much better striker slash Muay Thai artist. Karl Robertson's got some solid power. He's coming up from 185, so maybe he's looking to have a speed advantage in this weight division. Both have horrible grappling slash ground game. I think this is Khalil Rountree's fight to win. I think he's got much better kicks. He's fast. He's powerful. He's got that that sidekick to the knee, which he picked up a finish with last time in his fight, which was absolutely nasty. I don't know if he dislocated the guy's knee, but he did some bad damage to that knee. It looked very nasty on live TV. I think Khalil Rountree is able to pick up the win. I'm gonna say Khalil Rountree by, I'm gonna say first round KO. Next, another very interesting fight. We have Alex Caceres against Sodiq Yusuff. So this is a fight where Sodiq Yusuff is a young prospect. He's a young phenom. He's very fast. He's got some good takedowns. Alex Caceres is someone who's been around forever. He's got a wide stance. He's light on his feet. He's got some very accurate strikes. Although he's got very poor striking defense, which he's always fighting with his chin straight up in the air, hands wide. But he's very light on his feet and he's always bouncing around. So this is a very interesting fight due to the fact that Alex Caceres is coming in at a plus 200. So those are some solid odds on the part of Alex Caceres. So I think Sodiq Yusuff should be able to pick up the win in this one. I think his speed and Alex Caceres' poor striking defense is a recipe for disaster. Sodiq could just crack him with a right hand or something and then just, put him down and probably work his way, either put him down early rounds or carry his way to a third round decision. But this is truly Sodiq Yusuff's fight to win. But there's some very interesting value on Alex Caceres, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to pick up a win. But I'm going to go with Sodiq Yusuff by decision. Next, we have Marlon Morris against Yadong Song. Marlon Morris has amazing kicks, good boxing. Although as of late he's been taking so much damage, he's been fighting some true studs. So I don't remember if he fought for the belt, but I mean the guys he's been fighting, he really has fought a who's list of fighters. I think in this fight, considering his age and then a little bit of a questionable cardio nowadays, I don't think this is a good recipe going against Yadong Song. He's on a 3-fight losing streak where he got knocked out by Sanhagen, he got knocked out by Font, and he got knocked out by Valishvili. So he's on a 3-fight losing streak where he just took a tremendous amount of damage. And going in against a young, hungry, powerful Yadong Song who's got amazing striking and good takedown defense, amazing cardio, and is going to be in your face all fight long. This is an easy pick. It's Yadong Song, and I'm going to say second round KO TKO. All right, now we're going into the main event. Thiago Santos against Magomed Ankalaev. Thiago Santos, amazing kickboxer. He's looking to keep the fight on the feet. I think in this fight, he's quite a substantial underdog, which makes sense. Magomed Ankalaev seems to have good grappling, good wrestling. He's got good movement, very solid kicks, huge power. The issue I have with Santos in this one is ever since he fought John Jones and he had reconstructive knee surgery on both of his knees, he's come back and he's picked up some wins, but he's never truly looked the same as far as his movement. I think, coming back from knee surgeries like that, you have to learn to do everything again, such as walking, re-implementing your movement over time. And this is, he's going against someone who could potentially be a future champ and who's just been looking very dominant in his fights. He only has one loss, and I think in that one loss, it was against Paul Craig, which he was absolutely dominating that fight for the whole 3 rounds, and then he got caught in a triangle and tapped at the very last second of the 3rd round. So otherwise, besides that little hiccup here on his record, he would still be undefeated. and he's currently on a 2, 4, 6, 7 fight winning streak. So for this one, I'm going with Ankalaev, and I'm gonna go with KO TKO fourth round. Now let's go on over to Bovada and check out some odds. I like to do this, share my little parlays with you guys. If you guys enjoy the content, please leave me a like and a subscribe. That helps a lot. I'm just starting my channel, messing around and having some fun with this, trying to build a little community. So let's check it out here. I got Azamat Morzakhanov in the first one, Chris Moutinho, JJ Aldridge, Khalil Rountree. There's so much value on this card, guys. It's a little bit sketch. I don't like to go over 4 picks because it's quite a bit of picks on the in those fights where truly anything can happen. So I'm gonna stay with these 4 picks over here. I usually like to go 25 and just kick back and watch and have some beers with my homies. So this is gonna be my parlay for the night. $25 for 250. Let me know what you guys think of the picks. Let me know what your picks are if you're watching the video. If you're watching the video, I appreciate you. And then please leave a like and subscribe. Peace.